This is a stock 1969 Camaro that, as an artist, I modified. As you can see from this photograph, it was a little rough. The fenders weren't on it, the hood wasn't on it. The reason I was interested in the car, as you see it in this photograph, was it had never been wrecked. And I knew I was going to do a lot of modifications to it. So it was a clean, straight body, even though it looked like it had been dredged out of the bottom of the ocean. Well, restomodding is when you take a classic car, but you put modern components in it. You put modern suspension so it really rides well. You put modern brakes so it stops well. You put modern engines in it with fuel injection so it starts right up and you don't have all that smelly fuel. You put modern transmissions and rear ends, and so it operates, stops, and handles like a modern car, but it still looks like a classic car. I wanted the Spurs logos to be prominent, and in the front grille is the classic spur, like a cowboy spur. In the rear tail panel, you will see the complete Spurs logo as it's seen most of the time. Opening the trunk, that same Spurs logo is inlaid into the wood floor. The wooden floor piece that you see in the trunk is actually a piece out of the arena. And it's from the 2005 championship team. The other place that the Spurs logos is found is on the gear shift knob. And down the side, the letters Spurs are spelled out. If you notice, the brake calipers actually have the logos etched into them. You'll also notice under the hood that there's some Spurs logos on the engine and on the brake master cylinder. So I didn't want a plain ignition key, so I incorporated the Spurs logo and the actual spur into the ignition key. Most of the material in the car is python. It's synthetic because you would have to have lots of pythons to make the real leather. The other material that's incorporated into the car is leather on the seats, and actually the third is stingray, and you will see it as accent pieces in the seats and on the console. The biggest stretch, I think, art-wise on this car was the billet aluminum that runs all the way down the side of the car. And so the billet aluminum had to be designed and then cut and heated and bent to form to those compound curves. The car literally had to be cut in half. Everyone that I know of believes this is the only car in the world that has inlaid trim in the world. This car has a very unique engine. Chevrolet only made 200 of these engines. They're the only all-aluminum big block Chevrolet ever made. Each engine is numbered. This one is number 47. The term muscle car came about really in the mid-60s. And what happened is the car manufacturers started taking mid-sized cars and putting big, high horsepower engines in them. So with a lighter car and a big engine, they went real fast. I have loved classic cars since I could remember as a small child. I always looked at them that they are artwork. They're just not hanging on the wall, they're driving down the road. I'm Larry Mills, and this is the Mills family's 1969 Camaro called the Silver Spur.